What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode on Loctite's Chop Shop. Listen, I put up a poll to see what you guys wanted the next episode to be, and by my surprise, everybody wanted a full walk around of the Stepchild build. So that's what we're gonna do today. We'll do a walk around. I'll show you some of the stuff that I did on the bike, and then thankfully the nice weather is finally here in New Hampshire. It's 90 degrees today. So once you do this walk around, I'm gonna jump on this thing. We'll hit some of the back roads, and you guys take a ride with me. Stay tuned. Stepchild. She's a 1987 Sportster 883. So this was actually my dad's first Harley. He bought this the year I was born, 1987. Super responsible of him to do that. But lucky for me, my dad gave it to me once I turned 16. So I've been riding this thing since. Did the build on this 4 years ago, something like that. This was my first ever build. I didn't know shit. Go back to the very first episode of the Low Life Chop podcast and you can see how much I did not fucking know. But now I've built a few bikes since then. I'm able to build another shovel right now. But this is still by far my favorite bike. I love this bike. I took my time on this bike and really built it to just fit me, which is probably one of the most important things about a build. A lot of people get wrapped up in the whole, oh, what's gonna look the best? What are people gonna like? Blah, blah, blah. What you gotta do is build it to fit you. Build it to make it the most comfortable for you so you can put those miles down. So we'll do a walkthrough. So start, like I said, 87 Sportster. It's still got a stock 883. I'm a huge believer in don't mess with the motor. If you want a bike that is going to not leave you stranded, leave the goddamn motor alone. So we got it's super dirty right now. I have not cleaned this thing in like a year. But this is the 883. It's usually super clean. It's got all new gaskets, all that junk. I actually have to do rocker box gaskets this year because they're fucking smoked again. Got the 6-over front end from Lowbrow, and then made the dual headlights here. And these headlights are just running lights off of a Dyna, and they make fucking great headlights. Added these little hoods to them just to make them look a little bit different, but I can't complain. They're not the brightest thing in the world, but I can see easily at nighttime, so I love them, and they're super cheap. So next we'll go to the bars. These are probably my favorite bars I've ever run on a bike. They were made, see if you can get that in here, they were made by Wannabe Fabrication. These are his lightning bolt bars. You can see this way, it's got a little bit of kickback but not too much, but they fit me perfect. Like I said, I built this bike to fit me the best, so I'm comfortable while I'm riding, and I absolutely love those things, hands down. As you can see, no front brake, got the shaved lowers. I know I'm gonna die and blah blah blah. I get it. So one huge thing, let me turn this around. One huge thing with the 4-speed Sportsters is the charging system is junk. They just suck. One, they charge super low, and two, it's an exposed magnet inside the primary. And what happens after those magnets, it's just like glue that holds them on. Once that glue breaks down over time, those magnets will come loose and they'll just start spinning, and they fucking take out the rest of the magnets and take out your whole charging system. So then you have to replace the charging system. But once you do replace the charging system, get the upgraded basket with the sealed magnets, then you never had that problem again. And that's probably the biggest problem on 4-speed Sportsters. So just, if you can swing it, I think it's like $400 to redo the whole charging system with the better shit. And it just makes it so you never have to question one of those magnets coming off, wiping out your charging system, leaving you on the side of the road. So highly recommend that. Let's see. So I'm running forwards on this. I'm actually about to switch these out this weekend, putting mids on it. So the only reason I don't have mids on it now is I haven't been able to find the mids. Now, if you can see here, this is different from all the 90 and up Sportster. This bumps out a little bit further, so you can't use those pegs. You gotta use 86 to 90. The iron head pegs are close, but it's just not an exact fit. It's a pain in the fucking ass. So being able to get this one piece that comes out and bumps around the primary has been a bitch. But finally got some, so I'm replacing those this weekend. I'll have mids, finally. Let's see. Yeah, so I got just this style forwards on it. I actually like these pegs a lot. They're pretty fucking comfortable. I thought it was gonna be a lot of vibration and make my feet like have that weird tingly feeling. It doesn't. They feel great. So huge plus on those. I'm actually running the same thing on the back. I just got clamp-ons with the same peg on the rear. Highly recommend the clamp-ons. It makes it easy to adjust it, to put it to wherever your girl needs to be. So this seat right here, you guys have seen me if you follow me on Instagram or if you listen to the show, the Low Life Chopper podcast. I've been looking for another one of these seats, and this is the old Corbin Gentry seat. And the reason I like this is because it drops back so far and then has this nice back support. And the good thing about this is this usually has like an aluminum wall. So it's like, this is all stiff and then the cushion's on the top. This one is just straight foam. So if you see when I push on it, it's all foam. So when my wife's back there, she fucking loves it. Same with the front. There's no like sidewall, so it has all that cushion. This is hands down the best seat I've ever run. I absolutely love that thing. Let's see. Just got the generic sissy bar. Love this taillight. Everybody hates the Model A taillight, so I got this one. It's a Model A taillight. It says "fuck you" when it lights up. I actually got the lens from Chopperhead. Huge shout out to Truth. If you guys haven't already, check out his podcast, the Big Truth podcast. He's always got banger episodes. Wicked good podcast. So next we'll move to the exhaust. So this exhaust was just a bunch of Sportster pipes cut up into sections. Literally, this is the section, this is the section, this is the section, this is the section, and just all that's just all cut up exhaust pipe. Made this. Obviously I suck at welding. I use a MIG, so wrapped it. I hate the look of exhaust wrap, but I had to hide those welds. So then at the top of it, to make it look a little better, so usually this isn't all pitted and shit like this, but this thing's been written hard over the past 4 years. Got these tips right here from Lowbrow. Super fucking good deal. These things are only like, I want to say like 40 bucks, and they're machined brass, and they come, if you can see it here, they it has a hole on the inside of the tips. You just drill through and you screw it right in so it can't come out. But yeah, those tips are dope as hell, especially for like 40 or 50 bucks, whatever they were. Love those things. Got the oil bag. I believe this one holds 3.5 quarts, so it gives me all the oil I need. And I just want to make clear now, this is by no means a show bike. This is a bike that I built, like I said, to ride. I built this thing to fit me perfectly and be comfortable when I'm ripping down the road. Well, as comfortable as possible. So yeah, this thing is not a show bike, so don't even comment telling my bike's fucking dirty, because I know. Let's see. So next we got the tank. I love the Sportster shaped tank. That's why I want. This one is from Pandemonium Cycles, I believe it is. So it gives, especially when they're Frisco. This is I think it's called a Fryster maybe. But it's just a Frisco sporty tank. Put the sight gauge in, and this is huge. Everybody should fucking do this, because you know you're gonna run out of gas at some point. So just put it in the first fucking time. Again, if you listen to the podcast, you know I'm a big CV guy. You cannot beat a CV carburetor. They just, you put them on and they do what they're supposed to fucking do. Like, what more can you ask for? Let's see. I don't know what else I'm missing here. Grips are just Coke bottle grips. Those are from Lowbrow. They're my favorite. I love the white ones because once you've been riding a while, they get like that nice dingy look. I love them to death. Yeah, let's talk about this actually. The throttle cable housing. I believe this was TC Bros. Now I fucking love this thing because the plastic one would always strip out over time. So this one never stripped out, but there is a pin that goes in right here, if you can see it. Yeah, you probably can't see it. So there's a pin right here, and that fucking pin, after like 3 months, just rattled itself out. I had no throttle. So the way I fixed it, I took a fucking tiny Allen wrench, hit it in there with a hammer so it was nice and fucking tight, and then just ground it flush. Haven't had a problem with it since. But the aluminum throttle body, the aluminum throttle cable housing is definitely the way to go for sure. The plastic ones just don't hold up. Both the wheels, these are brand new, running a 21. And the front, that is from, shit, I can't remember if that was TC Bros or Lowbrow. Either way, brand new 21, fairly fucking cheap. It's only like 200 bucks for a brand new wheel, which isn't that bad. Brand new 16 in the rear, running Avons front and rear. I just like the tread pattern on the Avon up front. My favorite part about the Avon in the rear is you can see how thick this sidewall is. So what I do is I just run this a little bit lower on the air pressure, and it makes it so this has a little bit of bounce to it. So it's almost like having a little shock absorber by having a tire with that big of a sidewall. So highly recommend the Avon. What are these, Speedmasters? I don't know. Avon MK2. I think one, I don't know, one of them's a Speedmaster, one's a safety mileage, so you can figure that out. One's a front, one's a rear. Pretty easy to fucking figure out. So that's it, really. There's not too much on this bike. It's not a crazy build. Like I said, it was built to ride. So that's the quick layout of the bike. And listen, I've seen the comments. I told you people I will read the comments, and I've seen the comments. People were hating on one of the reels because it was a shitty view while I was riding. Blah, blah, blah. I fucking get it. I heard you loud and clear. So I went and got one of the chest mounts. So that's what I'll be wearing today when we go on this ride. So I gotta strap up, grab my fucking helmet, grab my gloves, and then we're gonna take a rip. shit, was that terrifying. Let me get this thing off and I'll explain what happened. Okay, so as you guys just seen in that video, took the stepchild out for a ride. Check. Everything felt great. And then I got a few miles away from the house, went to hit the brakes at a stop sign, no brakes. You'll see in the video, that's when I point the camera down and you can see me pumping my leg. Zero brakes. So then as I'm riding, I'm looking down, trying to figure out what the fuck. So I look at the brake lines. Brake line looks good on the left side of the bike. Look on the right side. And I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but if you see the difference, see that color? Now look at that color. The master apparently has been leaking because this is soaked with brake fluid. That's the original color. That's this color. So as you can see, zero brakes. Look at the distance it's traveling. Absolutely no brakes. So you got to see the stepchild, you got to see me ride the stepchild, and now you've seen the temperament of the fucking stepchild. If I can give any advice in that situation, it's fucking terrifying. And like I said earlier, I got no front brakes. That is my brake. So essentially what I did, I just tried not to fucking panic, obviously. Downshifted so I could slow down. Looked at the bike, that's how I found all this bullshit. And was like, fuck. Well, my trailer is home. My truck is home. And I'm on my bike. So I wasn't trying to walk all the way home to get the trailer, leave my bike on the side of the road. So I said, fuck it. I'm gonna keep this thing super high geared. That way the motor can slow me down when I need. You'll see in all the clips that will be before this, I just had to run all the stop signs. Thankfully, the ride I took to show you guys where I live, I went all back roads. This is, so you go right out of my driveway, it's all nice farm country. You go left out of my driveway, it brings you into the city. Manchester, all that stuff. So thankfully I went back roads. There's not much traffic as you've seen. That could have been very bad, but now I know. So I dealt with this a few weeks ago. Well, maybe a month ago. After it's sitting all winter, I jumped on the bike and went to take off, zero brakes. Thankfully that was just in a parking lot. So we were back in the shop, left it for the night, started fucking around with it the next day, and found out there was just no brake fluid. So, which was very fucking weird. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. That master is new last year. And then I had to do a master the year before that because that was the original master. So I don't know. So I was stumped. I'm like, well, maybe because it's so close to the exhaust, which you'll see here, the master essentially hovers over the exhaust. So I was like, maybe the exhaust is getting so damn hot that it's evaporating the fucking brake fluid. So filled it back up. Then I seen it leaking right out of here, right out of where this plunger goes into the master. It was dripping right here. So obviously I'm like, well, that sucks. Master's fucking junk, blah, blah, blah. So leave the bike, come out the next day, not dripping. There's not a puddle on the ground. The brakes are working fucking perfect, like they were just replaced. So then I started thinking, I'm like, well, maybe I just spilled some brake fluid when I was filling the master back up. Maybe that's what was dripping. So, I don't know, a week goes by, come out, take the bike for a ride, everything feels fucking great. I'm like, all right, cool. It must have just been, I fucking spilled that brake fluid. Start making this video today. Leave the driveway, like I said, everything felt fucking great. Felt like a normal, shitty brake for a 4-speed Sportster. So I was like, all right, cool, we'll rip the back roads. And unfortunately, I didn't even get to go as far as I wanted to. There's a really nice road that goes down through. There's like a bunch of farmhouses and goes in between 2 lakes on each side of the road. It's fucking dope. So that's where I was heading, but clearly didn't make it that far. So yeah, like I said, got about probably 4 or 5 miles from the house and went across a 4-way intersection and just couldn't stop at the stop sign. Went right through the 4-way intersection. Thankfully, like I said, it was on a pretty private back road, so there was no cars coming either way. But goddamn, if there's ever anything that's gonna make you poop a little bit in your pants, that'll be it. So, moral of the story is make sure you do your goddamn maintenance on your bike, and if that master cylinder's leaking, take care of that shit before this happens. So I don't know how long this video is. I'm gonna probably start editing it, see how long the video is. If it's a decent amount of time, I'll just throw this video out. But I promise I'm gonna get this master cylinder fixed hopefully this weekend. If I do, I'll bang out a much longer ride and hit a bunch of different towns, and I'll upload that one the same week. So either you're gonna get this video and it'll continue, or I'm just putting this out and I'll add a second video this week. Either way, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Wish me luck on finding a goddamn master cylinder, because parts are a pain in the ass to find right now. And that's it. Make sure you like and subscribe. Share this shit on your Instagram. Share it on your Facebook. Tag your buddies. Tell them to come check out what we're doing. And I will see you guys on the next one.